Hello, it's Wednesday. It's a time for being pals. It's time to check on how we're doing. And it's a time to be well. It's also a time when
Ish.
I'm trying out new things. Yeah, ish. New things to say as the openings of things. And this may or may not be what I go with. Draz, how are you, my friend?
Like we were saying earlier, tired. Both of us, kind of tired. But I can. I'm above ground, so
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's literally all that can be asked.
hmm
Um, so how's the week been? I think it's just you and I today. So
Yep. Shan is away for the evening, so my week has been interesting. Work has been quite busy. Um, and I
any
got 2 more
particular like
days.
project or anything that's made it that busy lately?
Just the beginning of the year, so the new projects are ramping up, and you know they've got new things that I kind of started last year. They're finally deciding to get to, so it's adding a little bit more to my plate each week. So,
Yeah.
but you know what though, I take busy work as kind of nice because then my day goes by a lot faster.
Yes. Oh man, it's always so awesome when it's not a slog.
Yes.
Because man, when it's a slog, it is the worst.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's I don't I don't generally have a situation where it's terrible about like that.
Hmm.
But there are days where it's like I have absolutely nothing to do. Shh, don't tell anyone. And I catch myself literally just like trying to stay awake.
I have those moments, and it's kind of nice actually because working from home, I will take 30 minutes of my lunch and I will go lay in what we have called the nap nook and take a 30-minute eye close. Don't really sleep, but I get some rest. And
I I can't do that because if I did that, I would be unconscious for. When I fall asleep, it's like I go into a coma. Otherwise, I would do the same because I also work from home. But man, I know that would be a recipe for disaster.
I've had to train myself to be able to take short naps
You are better than I am because I cannot do that for the life of me for some reason.
because
Um,
I used to nap and it would be 3 hours and then I'd be up till 4 in the morning. And
yeah, I don't know. I haven't been able to pull that off.
yeah.
I wish I could, but I will like work out though. I will like the last hour of the day. I will go out into the basement living room and get the ergometer out and go to town on that bad boy.
I
Which
should actually consider that right before bed doing.
I feel like it sets me up for the rest of the day to be like, you know, I
Yeah.
guess in better progress. I don't know how I would actually frame that correctly. Like it feels like when I do that that I'm actually like I feel all I feel all right. I guess when work's when I'm done with work. Then
I feel I
how do
feel
you feel? I feel Can we just call it tolerable? I feel
yes,
tolerable.
it's
But yeah,
acceptable.
yeah,
Or
it's gonna have to because it's the best it gets.
as Shan would say, aggressively okay.
Yeah, aggressively okay is a real good way of putting it.
I feel aggressively okay.
Yeah.
No, but I did not meet my goal from last week. I did not get on the bike
Oh, you didn't get on
like
the bike.
I did not. I will freely admit that.
Well, I
I
mean, like we
got
said, it's a goal for a reason.
yes.
So
But
So
I've set myself up for better success in the coming weeks with
there
that.
you go. There you go. What did you do to do that?
Well, I am gamifying using the bike.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Tell me more about this.
So the bike's in my office, and I am going to put my TV. I have a TV that I used to have in the basement that's just sitting there because I moved my office out of the basement. I'm going to bring that up into my office and connect my Xbox One to it,
Oh,
and that way I will be able to ride my bike while watching a show. So, you know,
nice.
try and put like something on, like a 15-20 minute show, watch an episode while I'm riding the bike.
That's a great plan. That's very good. I know we had our bike. That's what I would do is I'd like pick a couple matches that I
Hmm.
wanted to watch, and then I knew approximately like how long the matches were, and then I'd be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do with that time. I'm gonna watch these matches while I do that, and then hope that I'm not just sitting there staring at it, going, "Are we done now?
Yeah, right.
Are we done now? Are we done? But what about now? What about but what about now?"
It's like being at work, you're doing your work, check your watch. All right, it's 9 a.m. Doing your work,
Oh
doing
God,
your work. Feels like it's been an hour. It's
yes.
9:10.
Yes, that was me today. Doing the peddler, I was like, I. So since I brought it up, I've been good. I've been on track with the peddler. I I hit went for so out of the last 7 days, I did the walk one day and I did the peddler 5 days. So I only had one day where I did not do some type of physical activity, workout type of deal, my bobber.
That's
Um,
good.
yeah, it felt really. I don't want to use the word productive, but it felt good. It felt like I sit on top of it. Um, but also, today was the day where I hit the point where I was like, okay, I need to figure out something else to do because my shoulders were finally going, yeah, I can't do this every day. Like
Mm,
you can't make me do this every day. I'm just this will not work for me. Um, so we'll see what I end up doing to switch it out a little bit. But it was overall good. Overall, I was happy with that.
yeah, and sometimes you got. I mean, I've been told that's why you don't, work the same muscles when you do weightlifting. You have to give certain muscle groups rest.
Yeah, and I always with that I'm always kind of like, well, I'm not trying to build heavy muscle, so I'm usually less inclined to worry about it.
Hmm.
But what I've also realized as I've gotten older is like just everything's so torn up that it just doesn't matter. All my muscles are all fucked up, so my joints are so beat up that they're just like, you do whatever you want, it's still gonna hurt. So,
Hmm.
but it was good to do it. It's good to know that even though I had gone kind of backwards as far as not being as consistent, that getting back to consistency was relatively easy. So,
Spike.
Super Spike.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to meet your goal that you had set, and
Well, attainable goals, man. I knew I could do it. Yours was much more difficult.
yeah, but I mean, I'd feel better today had I managed to at least do like 2 miles, but I didn't even get on the damn thing all week.
But the thing you did do is you set yourself up for success by coming up with a plan of like, okay, this is what I have to do. This isn't working. The way I thought I could do it is not the way that's going to work.
Yeah.
So, And that is a bigger deal than I think, than people realize. And you have to give yourself some success, because if you're just constantly, it's okay to be like, yeah, I didn't do what I wanted to do, and that sucks. And I feel like I disappointed myself. But at the same time, you also have to be able to look at it and go, okay, did I learn anything from that?
Yes.
Did I get anything out of that, or was it just simply like, nope, I just didn't want to do it, so fuck it? Because there's definitely that. I'm real bad about that sometimes, where I'm like, I was supposed to do this thing. Did I do it? Fuck no, I didn't do it because I didn't want to. So, but I think if you can look at it as like, what is the positive I took out of this? Is I'm now setting it up so I can be successful with it in an avenue that makes more sense for me. Then I feel like you're making progress. And like I said, it's incremental.
Yeah.
It's little steps, but little steps is steps.
That is true. That is very, very true.
And with like something like working out or any of that like life-changing health things, this is not to talk shit on either of us, but we're both at an age where it's so easy to talk about it. It's so much fucking harder to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't remember who I was chatting about this with, but I was like, I can remember just being able to drop like 40, 50 pounds in a month and a half to make weight.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no human way I could do that now. I would be dead. If I even tried to do some of the things I used to be able to get away with, that way, it just doesn't work. We're older and our bodies don't always cooperate. So, but
Yeah.
I also feel like, if we're willing, you never know. We can get there.
Yep. Like I really want to get back out playing golf again this year.
Oh, I didn't know you were a golfer.
Yep. I used to golf all the time with my dad. Shannon started to get into golfing a couple of years ago. We actually got them some clubs,
Nice.
and we were hitting the driving range like twice a month. So they were learning, and we would go to Top Golf if we wanted to just go and have fun. And
I think I remember them
club.
saying that they would go to Top Golf.
Yeah, which is an absolute blast, but hard on the back.
I can only imagine. Yeah, I am not a golfer. Doug got into golf last year, and much like anything with Doug, he picks up a skill very quickly, and then he's like, I'm going to do this until I feel like I've mastered it. And especially things like a mutual friend of ours got Doug to play on his pool team, and Doug eventually was just like, oh, this is geometry. I'm pretty good at the maths, so I'll just treat it like that. And he gets gotten pretty good at it. But I think that's super cool when you can find things like that you leisurely, like, I don't like from a personal standpoint, I hate golf, but from the standpoint of someone who's like looking at it from like, love what you love and don't yuck somebody's yum, I'm always like, fuck yeah, do it up.
Now, for me, like, I've kind of got a conflict with it when it comes to the sport of golf, because number one, it is very much the rich white man's sport.
Yes, there are few other richer white man sports than golf.
I mean,
maybe like highlight.
But it's expensive.
Lacrosse.
I don't know. Lacrosse used to be, but I think lacrosse is definitely getting into that diversity realm now with pro lacrosse.
Yeah, I mean, I know one thing that I'd always heard was Jim Brown was one of the greatest lacrosse players ever, but chose to play other sports
Yeah.
because he was just like, I just do this for fun, which is proving once again Jim Brown, bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some serious like some serious. This is the whitest of white type stuff with like golf and like I said, maybe highlight, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would say that I was a an athlete of the four middle-aged white man sports. And
Nice.
that's golf, poker, darts, and bowling.
That is definitely like the four horsemen of white man sports.
Any
Oh,
game that I can do while having a beer, I'm in.
I'm bad at all of those things.
Oh, I'm not good.
Eh,
No, don't get me wrong. I am in no way good at any of those things, but I enjoy doing them.
I had friends who golfed in high school were on the golf team, and I was just like, I hate track and field, but I'd rather do track and field than do this. It's like I do not enjoy track and field, although I'm on the track and field team. I hate it a lot, but I'm gonna do it. Gonna do it because golf, it's just not an option.
Yeah.
Which
I
was
golf
always so
tons,
wild
you
to
know.
me because my high school had a golf team, but did not have a baseball team. But
That's
we had
wild.
American Legion baseball, and they were always going to like the state semifinals. It was the weirdest shit. Yeah, I've never understood that. But
Yeah.
anyway, are you guys gonna look at doing it more this year?
We're gonna try. I mean, it depends on how Shan's stenosis
Oh,
and my neck and back can handle it, and more movement is always good though. So
yeah,
I think if I can work my way through it and start loosening those muscle groups that I don't use a whole lot that start to hurt after a while, maybe the more often I do it, the less it starts to hurt.
yeah. Stringing the muscle groups around it. I would, like I said, you can always reach out to Doug.
Hmm.
Doug really enjoys it. I imagine that walk is also pretty good. Just it's a walking sport. You're
Yeah,
walking.
yeah, it is, and I mean you're outside,
Yeah,
nice fresh air. It's there's a lot of advantages to it. There's a lot of disadvantages to golf. I mean, the societal disadvantages versus the health advantages.
that's where Falf comes in.
Everybody keeps telling me I should pick up disc golf.
That's what my brother does. Falf, disc golf,
Yeah.
frisbee golf. We have a cousin. I think I've probably said this on here before. We have a cousin who used to be a professional fighter, and he got out of the game, but he's been threatening to. He lives part time down in Florida and does deep sea fishing as like a side business, and he's been threatening to donate to make a golf course. And his reasoning is, "Oh, I don't give a shit about them kids. I just want a place to play." He whenever he's in Kansas, because he'll spend a lot of time up there with his mom. He and my brother, they'll spend every waking minute, doing that, barbecuing and drinking. So
See, now my goal, when I become independently wealthy, I want to create the first full size miniature golf course where you have to use real clubs,
what?
but it's miniature golf style courses.
That sounds insane. That's like when you do the Harry Potter chess thing where everyone's a giant piece.
Like a real windmill in the fairway.
Ooh, that's intense.
Yeah. A 20-foot tall clown head that you have to get it in his mouth.
Well, how's everything else going?
Uh, not bad, not bad. I'm discovered that I have a serious video game addiction problem right now.
What are you addicted to?
Oh, well, just that there are so many games that have come out that I want to play. Like right now, I am obsessed with watching people playing Helldivers 2.
Yeah, we watched the McElroys play it. It was pretty entertaining
I
because
mean,
they were not good at it.
oh no, that's the thing about this game is you're gonna die a lot.
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say they weren't good at it. They were okay at it, but it was very much in the vein of Office Squad, where it's like where you're like, I I I can't tell if I take joy in the fact that you're bad at this or joy in the fact that it's you being bad at it. It's absolutely hilarious.
hmm
So
So
um
yeah, that's coming out. One of the games I'd been waiting for a while finally did come out, and it has been one of my obsessions for the last week. And it's called Bellatro or Bellatro. It
it
is
sounds really familiar. What can
it
you
is a rogue like deck building poker game.
I do I'm not a big deck builder, but I do like roguelites.
Well, and it's so you start with a deck of 52 cards,
Yeah.
the normal deck of 52 cards, and you have goals like okay, so you got to play a hand and you score poker hands, and each one gives you a
Ah,
multiplier. But then you can add cards to your deck, you can remove cards from your deck, and then there are jokers to which add multipliers and add effects to the hand and whatnot. And you have to go through. It's like a small blind, big blind, and then a boss fight where you have like
really?
yeah, it is really fun.
That sounds interesting.
I saw when it was out on Next Fest. I saw the
Okay.
trailer for it, and I was like, because I love roguelike games like that. Like I spent tons of time playing Slay the Spire.
Yeah, yeah. That's one where I tend to be with my roguelikes. I need like a either an RPG-ish element or a survival horror or a little bit of crafting or whatever.
hmm
Um, I've never really gotten into the card game stuff.
Yeah, there's another roguelike out there that I really want to get. It's called Tape to Tape. It is a roguelike hockey game
Okay, that's interesting.
where the roguelike aspect is you're getting things and players added to your team and
So
you're
almost like
going
a team management game.
no because you're playing it.
Oh, you're still like you're still
You still
that's
have to play the game. It's pond hockey, so it's small team and it's
that's fascinating.
yeah.
Weird. I love the fact that we live in a world now where like interesting stuff like that exists in a gaming sphere and can really, can do very interesting stuff with it. I mean, that's not a game I don't think we would have seen like 10 years ago.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, you look 10 years ago, everything was, you had your first person shooter, you had your third person combat like Devil May Cry, and there was a ton of games like that.
Yeah.
You had your sports games. There was a very finite excuse me, a finite kind of genre of games that were popular, so that's what all of the developers worked on.
Yeah.
And now, you know, you've got all these indie developers out there, like the fact that like Lethal Company was developed by one person.
I really love that idea that there's these things out there that, one like uh Stardew, perfect example.
Yeah, well, that's another game. Their big update coming in just a couple of weeks to
I
Stardew.
saw that. Yeah.
Where you're going to be able to have 8 players that are going to be able to play together.
I haven't played Stardew in a while. That makes me want to potentially.
I've never
start
played
playing.
it.
You've never? It's great.
That's what I've heard.
It is one of the most relaxing games I've ever played.
You know, there's a lot of popular games out there that I've never played. Like I never played Undertale,
I don't think I played Undertale either.
and that's a game that I picked up. I haven't played it yet, but I have it now. I mean, it was super cheap. It was like $2.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's not bad at all.
no, I mean, I picked up all the Mass Effect games because I played the first one and started to play the second one, and that's where I died off. And there's a third one, and then there's Andromeda, and
Yeah, I really should be better about playing some of the games that I have. I did run into a thing today. It was very frustrating. Is I tried to get my money back on 2 games from Steam, and they were like, "Nope."
oh,
Which was, I granted, it's been longer than 14 days.
so I'm gonna guess Pal World because you're unable to play it.
Pal World and Enshrouded, both games I really want to play. Both games I just can't.
We
My
just got to
system-
get you a graphics card,
Yeah,
and thankfully those are starting to come down in price.
it's it's a thing, but so yeah, that was a little disappointing because I was like, oh man, I really wouldn't mind having that money back because those games are just gonna sit there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Now look at it this way: eventually, you will probably get a new graphics card, and you'll be able to
then I'll
play
have those games. Then you'll
And
have
then
those
you have them.
games just sitting there.
You know, that's the way it was with me with Rust. I bought Rust, and it crashed my computer every time I launched it because I just couldn't get it to work. And then finally, I updated my computer, and I was just one day looking through my Steam list. I'm like, oh shit, I have Rust. I can probably play that now. So sometimes it's a pleasant, happy thing that you just look back and you go, oh, I forgot I had this.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice. Well, we'll see what happens. I don't. I'm never sure if I'm going to, but yeah, I don't know. It's who knows.
You will. You will.
And my biggest concern always with that is, will I have the interest? Because we were filling something out today for work. Cassandra was like, "Hey, are you doing Benefit for Life?" And I was like, well, "I don't even know what that is." She's like, "It's a work thing. You need to do it." And I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Because if you do it, it will. You can literally we could pay for Christmas with that." I think last year she said for Benefit for Life, she ended up getting almost $200 in Amazon gift cards for just doing shit every day on it at work. And none of it's complex to do. It's just I have to just not be fucking lazy about it. But,
well, it's not so much lazy as it is motivation.
Yeah, that's also true.
You know, that's something I've had to start teaching myself is I'm not lazy. I am just sometimes my motivations do not align with things that I know I should do.
That's
you have to not look at yourself as lazy because that's a very self-depreciating thing. So, it's a motivation issue. I mean, I'm neurospicy. I have motivation issues. I have attention issues where I will hyper focus on things and other things will just maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow. Yeah. No, I mean, that's really well put.
It's just motivation. Some days you'll be motivated and some days you're just like, maybe not.
Some days I'm just motivation is the farthest thing from my entire existence.
Yeah.
No, it's really, I appreciate you saying that. That's something I don't think I always take into account.
I have been a very big proponent of eliminating self-depreciating speech out of myself. And
That's
that's
fair.
something that I push, because, it does nothing. And not to mention, another way of looking at it is, when Shannon and I were doing webcomics and we were going to conventions, we would do artist alley tables, and all the things that all the comics that I wrote and they drew, and we'd put them out on the table, and, somebody would come up to the table and say, "Oh, this is really good." And Shannon, for a while, was like, it's all right. I'm doing okay. I could be better. And that right there is not only self-depreciating, but it tells the customer your view of art sucks if you think this is good.
Yeah.
So self-depreciation also affects those around you. So, when you're self-depreciating, you're telling your friends, why are you friends with this person? So self-depreciation is toxic not only to yourself but to those around you and those that care about you.
No, it's really fantastically put. I never thought about it that way.
So I have been a very, very big proponent of eliminating that kind of speech out of my life and that kind of viewpoint out of my life because it makes me happier.
Wow, that's
it's something that I've kind of, I catch Shannon and I'll give Shannon a smack on the hand and say, hey, that's self-depreciating. Don't talk like that. When they were going through their job issues and they were trying to get a job and they kept, getting passed over for a new job for somebody else. And they're like, what's wrong with me? It's like, there's nothing wrong with you. As good as you are, somebody out there in the world is better. It was just bad timing. Somebody with the same or better qualifications applied for the job and they got it. That's all it is. It's not that you're bad. It's just bad timing.
That's a really good point.
You just gotta, you have to sometimes have to look at the verbiage you use against yourself.
Yeah, that's really well said.
So I'm going to hold you to that too. Stop with the self-depreciating talk.
I'm really bad about that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think self-deprecation is like something that I just do. I don't even realize I do it. I will that, and Cassandra gets on me too. Apologizing. I apologize for everything.
Oh, that is a neurospiciness that comes from your childhood.
Yeah.
Because you always felt like you had to apologize for stuff. I learned that. I also apologize for everything.
Yeah, I don't. There's times where, I mean, we'll be talking and she'll be like, what are you even apologizing for? And I'll be like, I don't even know. I'm just saying words right now because I think that's what people want to hear. I have no idea what I'm saying sorry for.
Somebody will say that they're having a bad day and I'll say, I'm sorry. And they're like, you don't have to apologize for that. It's like,
and that's the thing. I'm good at telling other people, like, I'll say it to her all the time. Well, you didn't do anything. This isn't your fault. Like, why are you apologizing to me? You didn't make this miserable. Like, so you have to say you're sorry to me. But the reality is that, like, I can't do that to myself. And it's just like, God, what is wrong with you? You mook.
Sometimes you just have to say, I'm sorry that that's happening to you. Because then you're not apologizing, you're sympathizing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
so, again, a lot of things can be fixed with just simple verbiage.
Yeah. No, you're definitely dead on right about that.
I mean, we as a people need to do a lot better at thinking about what we're going to say and what we say before we say it.
Yeah, I would love to say I'm good at that, but I am most assuredly not great at it.
Yeah, one of my dad's favorite sayings when he was alive was, use your head for something other than growing hair on. And then I got bald, and I said, well, I'm not even good for that either.
Yeah.
So.
thinks dad.
Uh,
I I I tend to be all right with that. I just also tend to get to a point where I don't know, it's not even overthinking it. It's just having a lack of ability to like in some of those more interesting social situations, I have a really hard time of not getting in my own way, I guess. Does that make any sense? Am I just
oh no, absolutely it does. Because I am and was very much the same way. I've gotten better about it, but I was very much the same way. And Spike, no, that's what Twitter is for. Just fire off the first thing that comes out and regret it afterwards and delete it.
There's a reason I don't use that beyond the fact I think it's it's run by someone who's a god awful substitute for a human being.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
But
I mean, I use Twitter honestly only to keep up on news because I have trusted people that I follow on Twitter
that's fair. Yeah.
where that I know the news is accurate from them. So that's what I use it for.
Yeah, I have my news regiment in the morning, and then I have to be really careful because of a couple things. I also will turn to where right now it's real hard to watch. So
Yeah.
With everything going on in Palestine, so
And that's a whole nother beehive that is definitely causing a lot of mental health issues with a lot of folks.
yeah, I don't think I've ever. Well, I know I haven't. I think about like our lifetime right now. I'm just like we've had a pandemic
Mm-hmm.
that once in every 100 years it seems like we have one.
Yep, we had 100-year pandemic.
And we have a active genocide.
Yeah.
So
This was a conversation actually I had with Shan last night because Shan, confided in me about, things that were bothering them. And they were like, this is the worst the world has ever been. And I was like, sadly, it's not.
It's not. That's you're exactly right. Sadly, it is very much not.
I mean,
but
it feels like it because this is what we're living through.
Do you ever though? Like, this is so. I don't want to go on about this because I'll doom this into my brain because that's what I do. But I think I look at it, and I'm always curious if other people do. I think I more look at it from the perspective of I don't know about how it was for you, but I feel like we were told our entire life it's like we're on the verge of like this great shining new future. The world is going to be better and brighter and all of these things, and holy fuck, is it not? It's actively we're in a post-capitalist hellscape. And it's not just because Wendy's is now going to do.
Oh God.
Although that is wild to me.
Yeah, fuck Wendy's right now.
When I saw that, and for those who don't know, Wendy's is going to potentially go to a graduated style service where it's like, hey, if we're super busy, the price is going to go up.
Yeah, their surge pricing is what they're doing.
Which is the most libertarian fucking bullshit I have seen in quite a while.
Since Uber.
Yeah.
I mean, they are taking Uber's pricing scheme and putting it to food. And if they're successful in it, everybody's going to do it.
But I don't even find it to be Uber because with Uber, if I understand correctly, and if I'm incorrect, please somebody correct me. Part of that rate increase also goes to the folks providing the service?
Well, no.
Is it simply just Uber taking a bigger chunk?
Yes.
Oh Jesus, that's even worse than I thought.
Yeah. No, like, if I were to take an Uber from, say Target Field to home, on a regular day it could be $20. On a game
Mhm.
day, it's $80.
Yeah.
The driver might make another $10 on that trip, but Uber makes an additional 30.
But see, they're making something. Whereas with Wendy's, it's like they make shit.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But it's still the surge pricing scheme, which is, on times where it's going to be busier, we're going to raise the prices and you're going to pay it because you don't
Yeah.
have a choice. But we do have a choice, and I really hope people take that to heart.
Yeah, I don't know if they will or not.
But to go back to what you were saying though about, you said that, the future, we were told that the future was going to be bright and, but if you really look at it, because you and I are very similar aged.
Yeah.
So, growing up in the 80s, we didn't have computers really in the home.
What are these computers you speak of?
We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have basically the library of the world, the Library of Alexandria in a device in our hand.
Yeah.
Our I was telling, I kind of laugh at, the Gen Zers, because, our Google, our Wikipedia was 28 books and weighed
Yeah.
300 pounds.
No,
you know,
that's exactly true.
it's like the future was bright, and and we did get to a large chunk of that future. You know, medical advances are beyond what we thought in the 80s. But it's in the shadow of all the garbage that came with it. The internet is the greatest and worst invention ever.
Yeah. I mean, I do not at all disagree with that either.
Yeah, the brightness comes from the dumpster fires.
Yeah.
I mean, but like I was saying with Shannon, though, yeah, it seems bad. Like, they're like, Palestine. And I'm like, yeah, but Palestine, this has happened many, many times with those two in the past. This is not a new thing. This is just going further.
Yeah.
And genocides have happened in the past. I mean,
there's ongoing genocides right now. I think
yeah,
the biggest difference is I cannot recall a time where we could access it in real time.
yes,
And
that's the
where
problem.
you can see the atrocities occurring literally in real time, and you're looking at it, and you're also living in a world that would be bothersome on its own. I think what is incredibly disheartening and incredibly sad is people acting like it's not occurring.
Yes. Well, like, if you look at, remember Desert Storm? That was really the first war that was on 24/7 television.
Yeah.
And now we've got 24/7 television and internet. And so, yeah. So you can get, you could sit there and doom scroll all day and all night. Whereas, I think, like that 9/11 was honestly probably the first real major event in our lifetime where people were just glued doom scrolling on television about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just horrible, but, 9/11, not that it was a comparable tragedy, but for, my parents, that was Kennedy's assassination. In Palestine, this war, that was Vietnam. That was a terrible, horrible time.
I think for me, the reason it hits so hard and bothers me so much is that I'm ostensibly watching someone take my tax dollars and give them to people to murder other people. And so I feel absolutely complicit in a government endorsing death on an almost industrial level.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard for me to, it's really hard for me to wrap my head around that, and to know that while we can uplift and raise voices about it, and we can cajole and we can threaten and we can, try to find justice in that, that Joe Biden still won Michigan easy, and that and that Drumpf is going to, continue to cruise his way towards being the nominee. And I just, it's like, I just feel a lot of times like, is this the shit that like my grandfathers who fought in World War II would be like, fuck yeah. Or would they instead be like, boy, y'all fucked this up real bad. Like, we did not stop the Nazis for more Nazis?
Yeah. The original Antifa.
Yeah, Jesus. It's just, I think that's what really gets to me sometimes, is that like I look at that and just think, is this really where we are? Is this it? Like, I just keep thinking at the same time, we're one shitty day away from nuclear war. We're one billionaire deciding, that they want to make sure something happens in Iran, or, Trump for that case, deciding he needs to get his Q numbers up and just deciding, let's bomb Iran.
Well,
I mean, Lord knows he wanted to do it previously.
I mean, that was also in the 80s and 70s with the Cold War.
Yeah, no, I do not discount that at all.
I remember growing up in the 80s and being terrified of nuclear war, I saw, the day after tomorrow.
Oh, God. Well, that is one of the most brutal movies of all time to watch. It to this day, it'll still scare the shit out of you.
Yeah,
it is difficult to sit through.
Mm-hmm.
Frightening.
I used to, when I was a kid, I would look up and see, you'd see planes way up in the sky with the trails, with the steam trails, and wonder, is that a missile? Do I have to be afraid?
So I don't know if I've talked about this before, or we've even mentioned it before. When Oklahoma City happened, we could feel it where I lived.
Oof.
And it literally shut towns down for, I think, 3 or 4 days, because everyone was absolutely terrified that it was. I mean, and granted, I also grew up in a red hellscape, red state hellscape, but people were convinced like it's war. It's, this is a urban terror that is now going to lead directly into a conflict, and it just. So yeah, I feel you on that whole thing. But I think the difference for me is, maybe this is just me being kind of in my slightly in my the low end part of a depressive swing here lately, is I always felt kind of hopeful. Like, you know what? It's going to get better. Mom and Dad think it's going to get better, and it can't possibly be worse. We're humanity. We're humanity. We're figuring it out. And I look down, I'm just like, humanity, we are fucked.
Well, and there's a reason for that, and it's because the media doesn't make money on showing shiny happy shit.
That's true as well.
So everything looks doom and gloom because that keeps people on television. But there is hope out there. There are bright spots out there. It's just that it's all in the shadow of the doom and gloom. And sometimes you have to go hunting for it, and you shouldn't have to, but you do, so you don't lose faith that what we're doing here is worth it. I get that though. I am a terrible doom scroller, but I will hunt down good things too to counterbalance it. I
Yeah.
do have hope. I do have hope. There are certain things I don't have a lot of hope for, but there are some things I do have hope.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a far more balanced way to think about it mentally than I do. But I mean, and that's the thing too. I don't foresee, like, I don't look at it and go, well, we're all fucked. It's more that I'm like, is this, I mean, I especially I start to spin on something like climate control or climate
Change.
Climate change, and my brain just goes, this is it.
That's one of those things I don't have a lot of hope for.
I mean, this is the existential crisis, that we are completely boned on.
I mean, for crying out loud, 2 days ago it was 62. This weekend it's going to be 70.
With the wind chill, it was -20, or it was in the negative teens last night.
Yeah. I sat here while I was working yesterday because I have my Echo right here, and I watched the temperature go from 42 to 7 degrees over the course of 4 hours.
And it's just, I can't help but when those things occur, of thinking like, this is it. This is the death spasms of
I will say this. Even if we have caused irreparable harm for us to survive, the planet will bounce back. And I have to take some solace in that.
I don't disagree with that at all. I kind of look at that as like, well, how many extinction level events have occurred and the planet's history, and it's always been like, yep. The planet's like, yep.
The planet will heal.
Yeah.
We may not be here to see it heal, but the planet will heal.
I think that's one of the things that is just, I have a hard time wrapping my head around, is that, like, this is it, that, and I'm less worried about like me as a person, because it's like, I already kind of have this very particular kind of viewpoint on that. I think it's more just that idea that, like, everything just will stop.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason why Shannon and I never had kids.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a subject I don't even want to think about.
Spike, that is very true. Asgard exploding. It's strong foundation. We can rebuild. Oh no, it's gone. It's gone.
I do seriously feel like that sometimes. Where it's just like, this is.
Well, now that we've doom and gloomed ourselves into a state here.
Yeah, I'm in a weird mental place right now where I'm like, I do apologize. I'm not sad. I'm just kind of
You know what? Talking it out is good, though.
I'm just kind of I get in this mood sometimes where I'm more contemplative, I guess would be the word.
Yep.
Where,
Reflective.
yeah, where I'm just spending a lot of time just being like trying to figure out like why? But why be though?
Why be, though?
Why be though?
So what are you going to try and do this next week?
I'm gonna try to stay on track with what I'm doing health wise currently because it's going relatively well. I am also going to I'm going to try to I'm going to trying to figure out a way to phrase this correctly. I'm going to try to add but not add to my detriment, if that makes any sense. I'm going to try to ramp some things up without though like overextending because I know that I am very susceptible to doing that I will be like things are going. I'm the opposite of the people not taking their meds. I'll be like things are going well, I'm gonna try to do all this shit now, let's do all of this shit. And that's not very smart or feasible for long-term success. So I am instead going to
Moderation.
Yeah, I'm going to try to kind of stay in that moderate area and attempt to increase like where I've been successful, and at the same time like not overdo it, or not even so much overdo it where like I'm worried about like hurting myself or anything like that. More so overdo it to where, like you said earlier, overdo it to the point where I'm like, I don't fucking do this anymore. Let's kiss my ass. Because I will do that. I completely agree with you when you said that. Like I will get to a point as well where I'll just be like, nope.
Yep. Let's see. For me, I have a lot to do around the house because we are hosting on Saturday.
Well, what are you hosting?
So every year, us and our friends, a couple of our friends, we do the Best Picture Showcase.
Oh, very cool.
We watch all the Best Picture nominees.
That's awesome.
Over the course of 2 weekends. So we're going to do half this weekend at our house, and then the second half will be at one of their houses.
Man, that's got to be a bummer sometimes, because sometimes the vast majority of those pictures are not fun subjects.
Oh, yeah. Well, we used to actually go to the theater. Pre-COVID, AMC theaters would do a ticket package where it was like $40 and you got to see all the Best Picture films over the course of two days.
Yikes.
So, yeah, we would be in a theater from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m.
We
4 movies in a row.
At one point, we would go with Zach and Christy to go. What the heck was that? We would watch the animated shorts, the Oscar nominated. You could go. I can't remember what theater that was at. All I remember about it is they had the littlest seats known to mankind. So by the time we were done, I'm like, I can't feel my butt. But it was always fun.
Yeah. So I got to get some stuff cleaned up around the house, and I got to figure out what I'm going to do for food because it's an all-day event. So we're going to basically just pick and nosh all day. So I got to come up with some kind of a slow cooker meal that people can just eat what they want when they want. And
Mississippi pot roast, baby.
Yeah. So that's what I got. I'm looking forward to this weekend. So
we are going to St. Cloud we're now, as some families now in this thing where they're combining birthdays. So we don't like get together constantly.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm not going to lie, I'm okay with.
Yep.
So there's that, which that'll be fun. I do enjoy some of my in-laws quite a bit. Some I would rather do my own dental work with a rusty pair of pliers, fish hooks, and no anesthetic. So all
Well,
just depends on who it is.
yeah.
And I'm sure the ones who I don't want to be around are, I'm relatively sure they're well aware of that because, man, I am real bad at hiding that shit. I'm just like, I don't care. But it'll be good. I get to see my niece and my nephews, which is always fun. But yeah, I will be very bluntly honest. A lot of me, it's just like, I don't want to go do this.
Yeah, I know that feeling. There sometimes things that I go do that I'm just like, oh, do I gotta?
Yeah. I mean, and my mother-in-law, who is like one of the sweetest people ever, is making like everybody's getting their own, like she's making like her question was like, what soups do you want? Or stews or whatever. And I was like, what? Like, we're not doing like homemade pizza or anything? She's like, no, I'm gonna do like soup stews type thing. And I have to. I'm legally obligated to say chili.
Oh God, yeah.
Because I would punch a baby for chili. I mean, that baby can try to get up and run, but it's getting punched.
Like sticking a Bowie knife in somebody's back for some onion soup.
Pushing the old people down a flight of stairs. Yeah, I mean, that'll be awesome. But I'm also just, like I said, I'm in a very listless mood right now. I just don't want to do anything. And it's not meant to be offensive to anyone. I just really don't want to do anything. It's kind of like that whenever I before I have an appointment with my mental health person, I have to take that stupid mental health inventory. It's most of the time she's like, well, you're scoring about average for your diagnosis, but occasionally she'll be like, do you enjoy anything at all? I'm like, I kind of do, but there's a lot of time where I don't enjoy anything.
Yeah.
Everything is just a facade. Like, I'm literally just smiling my way through existence to hope that they don't ask me to stay longer. It's like, well, check please. But at the same time, I just talked about how scared I am about, will this be the end? So I have this weird kind of relationship with that entire mindset, I guess.
Oh, that's a conversation that we could have in depth when I'm in good. My mental health in regards to that whole subject is an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, I will often refer to myself as a pessimist or as a realist, and Cassandra will refer to me as a pessimist. But when it comes to some of this shit, sometimes I am just like, I hit a point of just, I guess, saturation. I don't know, and I'm at a saturation point currently. I can see that.
Well, I believe we have run over.
Did we really? Oh man, I thought we would be short tonight because I'm like, what are we going to talk about for that? Just the two of us.
We doom and gloomed our way through 40 minutes of extra stuff.
Draz will make me make it if we try. Just the two of us, Draz and I. Yeah, Draz, where can the good people find you?
Here on Wednesdays, next week on Monday.
Hell yeah.
Are
you guys doing better games this Friday?
Yeah, I think we might actually. This may actually be one that you can do because I think we're gonna pull out Phasmophobia again.
Ooh. Make sure to let Colin know as well because he might be completely in on that.
Yeah, because there was a new update today, I think, or tomorrow, one of those days. So got to get out there and hunt some ghosts.
Some ghosties.
And then I will probably be in the chat tomorrow for Nashy Boys.
Oh God, are you gonna watch it?
I'm gonna try.
It's gonna be so sublime. I have not seen this. I do not hold. You cannot hold me responsible for any of this. I have not seen this particular Paul Naschy movie, but I'm gonna guess it's gonna be delightfully bad.
Well, I do love me some delightfully bad movies. So
I find most of my joy in Paul Naschy just by looking at him, because he's just such an odd man to look at. I say it all the time. I truly believe that the fact is he is the love child of Marlon Brando, John Belushi. He's such a bizarre looking human, and he's always kind of got this pouty face on. It just makes me so happy.
Yeah,
because it's like this guy's a movie star. He was a movie star in Spain. Like, people are like all about giving their good money to watch Paul Naschy be a werewolf, like in almost every movie.
but so yeah, you can find me on socials, ONY_Draz.
Yay! Tomorrow, Naschy Boys makeup, so Spike can be there because Spike is the I would say, not by his choice, most likely the extra boy in the Naschy Boys. And then Friday, I'm a maybe for Bad at Games. I will say I'm a solid maybe. Just because Cassandra is not going to be around, so I might take that time to lounge in the living room upstairs and watch Shin Kamen Rider as loud as possible, because I have yet to watch it.
I see. Okay.
And I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I'm very excited to watch it. I haven't watched it, which is
okay. No, I can feel that. I can feel that.
But and then Sunday prep school, then Monday it's do you know? Oh, I'm very excited.
Me too.
Yeah, and then just as far as for between you and I, and everyone just close their ears, just let me give me a brief, just shoot me a message with a brief rundown on your character.
Oh, I will. I will.
No, I'm on this earth out of spite. Exactly, spite. Spite's a hell of a drug, baby. All right, thank you guys for hanging out. I swear it gets better.
It does.
I'm just in a nipple watch. Hell yeah. I'm just in that spot right now. I'm very excited to watch Naschy tomorrow night, though. So have a good one. Hug somebody you care about, and remember, we got you.